Welcome, one and all, welcome to Dimension Showcase number 3. And if you know anything about 3, then you know it's a magic number. Kind of like the magic I'm unleashing on this canvas right now. Pow. Look at there. Not even a full minute into the video and we're already to the silliness. But, to be fair, I did warn you. See previous video. And this sketch is off and running as I whip it out in my signature scribble until you get what you want method. But clearly we're taking a more musical slant with this one, background music notwithstanding. But I got inspiration for this piece from a character generator. I don't quite remember all the different suggestions it gave me. In fact, the only thing that really stood out was singer. So I just ran with that. For those who don't know what a character generator is, it's basically like a website with an algorithm that'll give you a bunch of different random suggestions. And from those, you can draw something. Basically, it just generates these random ideas, hence the reason it's called a generator. I don't use them often because I find them to be rather repetitive and or limited. That's not to say that they're not helpful. It's just somewhere along the line you find yourself kind of getting the same thing or whatnot. So once I ran with that, I just decided, okay, now it's time to dig into my own mental chest and come up with my own design concepts for what I would want to have on this singer. So, you start thinking about different elements. They did in the generator suggest a time period, but I didn't really feel the need to get locked into that. So, I was like, I knew she was going to have a corset. I knew I was going to have long flowing leather clothing. I knew there were going to be like high boots, or at least thigh high boots. I even knew there was going to be a mic, which is in here somewhere as I'm whipping out these lines. But these were all design concepts that were coming to me as I took that one initial idea and just started running with it. Oh, hey, look, there's the mic. Old school mic. But yeah, the mic, the accessories, the jewelry, the hip straps, the knife, the sheath. There wasn't any real circa or era that I was going for. It just, all kind of came together, mentally throwing these darts at the wall, or at the board, I should say, and they all stuck. That's pretty much how it works for me in a sense. I'm not the kind of person who, or I should say the kind of artist who does a lot of legwork on the pad. When I'm designing things, I've found that I actually do a lot of my heavy lifting in my mind. There's a whole lot of drawing and erasing and drawing and erasing and drawing and erasing, but it's mental. And then somewhere along the line, I fixate on a particular path or area that I want to go, and it just becomes a manner of tweaking what that is. She literally was simply a manner of me tweaking what was already going on in my head. I didn't actually do a lot of trial and error here. It all kind of came to me. Your mileage, it may vary as we are now moving into the flats. I'm sure you guys are noticing how messy this process is. As I said in other videos, my techniques and tactics will change depending on what it is that I'm using or what type of look that I'm trying to go for. They all kind of fit within the same realm or whatnot, but there's variations on theme, and they can get me certain things or whatnot, or certain looks, I should say. This particular method that you're seeing right now is just something that I have kind of settled on recently. I get a kick out of just putting the colors down in a blot situation and then exhuming them, if you will. And in a way, this is actually for me not as time consuming as some of the other methods. You just put the colors down real quick, blam, 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 and then you see what you got. And then, you refine, you clean up, and before you know it, you're seeing the actual image. And on another note, I admittedly find this process to be rather soothing. I mean, come on, you guys out there, you artists, this creative stuff can get stressful. But when I do this, I find myself feeling rather relaxed. It's almost zen like or whatnot. I know there's a psychological element where they give a person coloring books or whatnot to relax and just like, just fill in the colors and allow yourself to just be a part of the process of filling in the colors. And apparently, when you come away from that, you come away from it feeling like a better person. I guess something like that happens here for me. I'm not really sure what that means or what that says, but the same could be for you. You know, I find it's almost like a double whammy. I'm relaxing while at the same time refining the image. Again, your mileage may vary. But back to the design sensibilities of our diva here. As you see, I just knocked out the head wrap, and now I am attacking the corset. I knew this was going to happen. Again, I did not necessarily go through a lot of trial and error on the paper. I worked out a lot of this in my mind. I knew she was going to have some leaf thing going on as we start moving into the shading. I don't know if anybody else out there works this way or experiences this. Maybe I'm just talking out of my backside. You guys can let me know in the comments. But here we are, we're continuing with the shading and whatnot. And this again is another situation where I've altered my tactic. In a previous video, I went about the process of actually picking colors for my shading. This time I'm actually using a different method that I found on YouTube, which again, like I said, you can go and you can find just about anything. Someone will give you instructions on how to pretty much knock out any type of tactic or trick you want. So I don't really feel like there's much that I could impart on you besides just how I employ these things. But, if people want more in-depth, we can always get to that too. Now we're moving into more of the lighting and whatnot. Obviously, we've got a singer and she's on stage. Now, see, this is what's really cool about this. This has taken on a life of its own. I don't envision her just being a singer. I envision a whole story going on here. There's other people watching and, maybe somebody in there who's, of an unsavory type. And maybe they're all unsavory types, which is why she's got this weapon on her hip. It's not just the fact that she's up there serenading, it's that she'll also stab you if you get too close. As we start putting in the background, obviously she is on stage and getting her performance on. You saw the spotlight earlier. And yeah, that's something that I actually want to get into before I get out of this video, is that how things take on a life of their own. The kernel of wisdom for this video. There are many different ideas that I have, and you're going to see as the dimension continues to evolve, you're going to find more and more sectors and more things. It's a aspect that takes a life of its own, and I'll be thoroughly excited to have you guys all with me. And with that said, I give you simply Sultry. Hope you enjoyed yourself. You know the drill. Take that 4-shot. Like, subscribe, share, tap the bell. Give the video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs down. Give me some comments. Give me that feedback. Till next time.